Take two, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. All right, we've got a fun one here. It's going to be a 15-minute AMRAP. You're going to begin with 30 air squats. That's followed by 30 deadlifts. It's then 20 front squats, so these now become weighted, 20 deadlifts, and then 10 overhead squats, continuing with that weight, and 10 deadlifts. So after that final set of 10 deadlifts, you're going to go all the way back to 30 air squats. All right, so the AMRAP is 30, 30, 20, 20, 10, 10, and continuing to go through that. All right, recognize every time you're back at the squat, not only do the reps, but also the range of motion, or maybe perhaps it's not the right way to word it, but the actual movement standard is changing, or the type of movement you're actually doing. All right, they all are going to incorporate the squat, so I guess actually what I just said is not entirely true, is the range of motion and the movement standard is going to remain the same. So when we actually are air squatting, we want to make sure, well, firstly, that our heels are shoulder width, our toes are going to be pointed out, our belly is nice and tight, even if we're not supporting weight yet. All right, you want to think of initiating by reaching your butt back, immediately driving your knees out as you come all the way down, push the floor away, squeezing your butt as soon as you stand. So again, just right down and right up, okay? That is the standard we're looking for all three of your variations of the squat. For the first one, it's simply just 30 air squats. All right, we're going to kind of just fast forward through all of them and then get to the deadlift, even though each of them are separated by the deadlift itself. But you'll do 30 air squats. Next is going to be 20 front squats. All right, this is intentionally just done with one single weight here. All right, but we do want it resting on our shoulder. If you have a light enough weight where you want to have two, that's fine. This weight shouldn't be obnoxious. All right, something which you feel like if I asked you to do 20 squats in a row, you could. You don't have to come workout time, but you should theoretically be able to. All right, we are going to avoid having that dumbbell rest on our shoulder if we can. If you need to relate to that, all right, that's fine. But we do kind of want to annoy your shoulders a little bit and try and have you hold that position. All right, so again, from this position, it's just hips back, it's knees out, right down, right up. Do my best to keep my elbow high the entire time. So as I send my hips back, I pull that elbow up. All right. If you do want to kind of sub a goblet squat, you can do that as well. All right. But again, we want to try and use those shoulders, not use our torso to support the weight. So we're going to avoid kind of this back squat with the weight there in front as well. All right. If you happen to have a plate, we're going to encourage you, as I'm coming off screen here, we're going to encourage you to squeeze the plate in front of your body. All right, and then hips back, knees out. If that is too difficult to sustain, then and only then you can still have it kind of resting on the back there. All right, but that'll be fine. Lastly is the overhead squat. All right, pretty challenging motion here. Just as far as shoulder mobility is concerned, again, the weight is ideally the same, so it shouldn't be too challenging. You're going to snatch that weight overhead. I mean, you can get it overweight however you want. If you want to push press, use two hands, one hand, but it is one hand that's supporting. Again, I am reaching my butt back. Again, I am driving my knees out all the way down, actively pressing up on the weight the entire time. Okay? Now, with a plate, it's a little bit more challenging. And there's going to be a significantly more narrow grip to support overhead. All right, so if you're unable to actually perform that, or in fact perform it with an overhead weight itself, okay, then what we're going to have you do are prison burpees today. All right, that's completely fine. It's not really a squat. It's all right. I don't want you doing just a front squat again. We're going to have you do something a little different. So the prison burpee is going to be 3 push-ups, elbows track back, 1, 2, third push-up, you still come down for number 4, and then it's burpee up. All right? That is what you will be doing instead. So if you aren't performing the overhead squat, it's going to be 10 prison burpees. That's 3 push-ups and 1 burpee per rep. To that point, if we don't have weight for the front squat, all right, you're going to be doing a jump squat instead. And if you don't have weight, obviously you'll be doing the prison burpee for the overhead squat, kind of working backwards now, and an air squat is an air squat. All right, so it's air squats, front squats, overhead squats, or some variation of those 3 movements. All right, always separating those movements is going to be the deadlift. The deadlift stays the same every single time. It's just the reps that are going down. All right, a few different options here depending on your weight. If you'd like to do a single arm deadlift in between, we don't want it to be a suitcase today, so it's not on the side. It's going to be in front of you. All right, you have a little bit of a wider stance in a traditional deadlift. Think heels maybe just outside of your hips. It's going to be butt back. Going to be knees out. All right, you're going to push the floor down, squeezing your butt as you stand. So from that side profile, again, reach your hips back, knees out, nice and easy. All right, you can keep those hips relatively higher if you'd like. All right, just making sure that you're actually using your glutes, your hamstrings to lift. If you want to do a double hand grip on the deadlift, that's completely okay as well. Now you'll have a more narrow stance with your feet directly underneath your hips. From here, just reaching back, press the floor down, squeezing your butt as you stand. The distance that you choose to go is going to be a little subjective. Obviously, don't go at the expense of your technique, but if we're only able to go to the knee and stand, it's really not what we're looking for. All right, so let's try and find them in between there. Do your best to try and work to at least like the top of your ankle. All right, pushing the floor down, squeezing your butt as you stand. If that's still going to be a problem, or you don't happen to have weight today, you're going to be doing alternating reverse lunges. Hands can be on your hips or on your head. Stepping back, press to that front heel. All right, coming to a full stand every time, counting every single step as a rep. So 30 total, implying 15 per side. All right, so again, 30 air squats, 30 deadlifts or alternating reverse lunges, 20 front squats or jump squats, and then 20 deadlifts or alternating reverse lunges, 10 overhead squats. You do not need to change your arms for that, by the way. All 10 can be done on one side. That's fine. Okay, 10 overhead squats or prison burpees, and then 10 more deadlifts. Okay, after that last set of 10 deadlifts, you're going back to 30 air squats. So that 15 minutes to get through that as best as you can, ladies and gentlemen. You'll do better than you think. I can assure you. Smart sets immediately. You're going to crush. Let us know how you do.